Everyone, it's Nicole from nicolejones911, and today at the Crafty Maven Getaway, there's a crop that was going from early morning to like 9 o'clock Easter time, 9 to 10 o'clock. I was supposed to be early in the morning, but due to some family commitments that just came up last minute, and I was gracious enough to move me at the end of the day. So my challenge today is to use templates, inks, and stamps to create a background. And I'm using my August hip kit because I I need to get through it. So the background paper is a grid paper, and it's from Studio Calico 2, and their papers, they just name them by numbers. So let's see what number they call this one. Amelia 002. And so I took the templates that Kim designed for Hip Kit. I added the Delusions paint that came in the color add-on with a dauber and just added some color. Then I took a Scarlet Lime pen, which is like a pigment permanent ink, and I just drew the outside of the triangle. Then I took another template and used an ink that came in a kit a few months ago, and it is Avery L. Raspberry. And then I took a few Delusions inks that coordinate really well with the paints that we got this month. So it's the same thing. The yellow is called Lemon Zest, and the pink is called Bubble Gum Pink. So it's the same color. She made her color so that they would, coordinate together. Totally lost my train of thought here. She made her Delusions ink match her Delusions paint. There we go. And then I just cut a bunch of just random size pieces from, I brought in my 6x6 paper pad from Simple Stories, Summer Vibes. I had brought it in on a few other kits, but I still had some, still have some pattern papers left over in that. So I just want to use it up. And I find that, you get to stretch your kits a little bit more, or your stash, when you add in some 6x6 pattern paper pads, because then you can layer your photo, or add some, layers in behind your photo without cutting into some 12x12s. Although I do end up cutting some 12x12s. This is not my first layout that I actually did with the August kit. I knew that I had to do this for this challenge, so I actually did two layouts which look kind of similar to one another, because I used the pink and the yellow. And this one here, I did use some whip spackle from Faber-Castell, which is like modeling paste, but sort of their version. It's really nice and firm. And so I used that on this. And the other layout, I didn't use the Delusions inks. I just used it on this layout. Now I just took some vellum and did like Missy Whidden and just kind of folded it in the middle. I stapled it so it wouldn't move, and just to add some texture in behind the photo. And when I work on a background like that, I find that the embellishments on my layout, I keep them very minimal. And at this point, I had forgotten that I want to stamp on the background, because that was part of the challenge, right? Stencils, inks, and stamps. And I hadn't used stamps yet. So I'm building my whole background. This is a pattern paper from the Simple Stories Summer Vibe collection. And I'm just kind of mounting the whole thing. So I'm not really paying attention how big the pieces of pattern papers are. I'm just kind of adding them sort of in behind the photos here and there. I just wanted some color to the background. Now I'm going to use the back side of that yellow, which is sort of a grid, and this is wood grain, a yellow wood grain. I just made it so it's just at the top of the layout, And I'm going to add some. At first I thought on the side, and then I decided no, maybe the bottom. I'm going to decide on the top. And then I'm just going to put a little cluster up there. And I'm going to end up putting my title at the bottom of the layout. And I'm going to use a couple of alphas, that came in one of the kits. And I've been a Hip Kit member for the longest time, and I've been getting all the add-ons for most of that. And I decided for the next little bit I'm not going to do that, but for August and September I believe I have all the add-ons, but for October I just ordered the embellishments add-on, and I think the extra pattern paper and cardstock, because I was running kind of low on cardstock, but because I just want to scrap a little bit more with my stash, so be watching for that. Now the small lettering is Pink Fresh Studios. They're called Alpha Sticker Sheet, and there was like 6 sheets that came in this, and so I decided to use the yellow one because I had some yellow on the background. And then for my bigger part of the title, there are thickers called Charm, and they're like a corrugated alpha. Love it. So the title of this is just going to be Beautiful Nature. And when we go on vacation, we could just stay in a hotel room, but we like to camp because we live in the country, but we still because of the crazy life, we don't get to enjoy it as much as we normally would. So when we go on vacation, we want to go somewhere where it's beautiful, outside. And when I put the top or the first word of the title, I just made sure that the F, because I knew it was a descending letter, that it would fit inside where the U is, and then that way I could put the rest of the letters so that it butted up against the top of the other letters. Now I took out some stickers from Pink Fresh Studio. There was a lot of stuff from Pink Fresh Studio this month. These are the Studio Puffs, they're called, and it says remember this, and then I'm going to use a couple of hearts. I also use the Pink Fresh Studio, they're like wood veneer, and they're called wood veneer stickers. And I'm going to use a little heart and also a little banner, and I'm just going to put it underneath the whole cluster here. And this is where I remember, oops, you want to do some stamping. Now this stamp set, or ink roller stamp, or whatever they're called, it's an older one. I've had this forever. It's from 7 Gypsies, and it's all about travel. So I'm just going through finding words that I like. I stamped out journey, adventure, explore, discover, just different words like that, and just kind of messy. And it's nice that when you have just and I could have gone really crazy. I like sometimes to go sort of crazy with the mixed media and the layers on top of layers on top of layers. And sometimes I like to keep it more simple and just add a little bit of stuff. And then also when I find the background is busy like that, I add only minimal embellishments, and then the page is done. So here are some close-ups, and just be checking the Crafty Maven Getaway. I'm going to post my video on my YouTube channel and also on their channel to see everybody's challenges today, and also on the Facebook group because we're going to be chatting there. So thank you so much for watching. Bye.